Uptown fade, call it a day.
Man, just go bald.
Yeah, solution. Just get a nice little uptown and call it a day, bro. None of this weird ass like half cocked, the bar DJ Khaled in the back ass, Mr. T in the front ass looking haircut. Just don't make no.
Like Kobe told LeBron in Game of Zones, you got to shave off all the distractions.
Exactly.
All right, welcome to Ignorant Sports Talk. It's your man Jack over here. I got Panky with me. What's up, Panky?
How's it going?
Got Dylan with me. What's going on, man? No, okay.
He's muted.
Yeah, okay. All right, I got Figgy with me. What's going on, man?
What's happening?
I got Jay Easy, Stay Breezy. What's going on down there?
Here we out here living it.
All right. Just living it?
Hey, man, living
life. No, okay.
Walking it strong, walking out stronger. Feel me?
Yeah. Anyone needs a Good Life membership, don't, because you quarantine yourself right now.
Subtle product placement.
Shameless plugs. Good Life, what it is.
All right. So anyways, we're gonna talk some sports as always. We're gonna jump into it. We had a major milestone in sports, which was the series finale of our beloved Game of Zones, which is, in my opinion, the one of the greatest things ever made of any sort of medium
of anything ever. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. You don't even have to be a fan of Game of Thrones. If anyone hasn't seen it, just watch it. You don't have to be a fan of Game of Thrones. Like, of course, if you've watched the show, you're going to enjoy it more, but it's amazing. So we're going to do a little kind of a tribute to that and talk about our favorite moments from the series, because there's been just countless. So who wants to take it off here?
Well, to put into perspective how long it's been a part of the NBA universe, the NBA canon, the first episode, LeBron James is on Miami.
Yeah.
The very first episode is LeBron James in Miami, and it's one of the first best jokes that they've done, where they turned Chris Bosh into a dragon.
Yeah.
Where Pat Riley's like, "We have dragons," and Chris Bosh just fucking flies in and starts screaming, and it's fantastic.
That's good.
So they hit the ground running that, and then they turn the Spurs into the White Walkers, where the championship is coming that they hold up when they're
Russell
marching
Westbrook.
in.
The Spurs.
Absolutely, yeah. So it debuted May 2014. Wow, that is a minute.
Oh man, some of the highlights, man. One of my favorite moments was they're in the what's it called, the pick and roll in.
Yeah.
Who is it? Drake is singing, and then Scalabrine's like, "Tell us about the big three." And he starts talking about the big three in Boston, and Rondo's there, and he's like, "I was a fucking legend in Bostonia." Oh, and then in the back, Mama's there. Kobe's there with his hood up.
Yeah.
There's a place for lonely trash talkers like you. Los Angeles. I'm like, that's a bar. The man hit him with the heavy. I'm like, okay, I see.
It's also, when you listen to the lyrics Drake sings before he sings about the Big Three song, he's like, "And Kyle Lowry goes through the six with all his woes." Oh, man.
Another good one. LeBron and Kevin Love are in the hot tub together.
Yeah.
Like, there's another tub. I like this one just fine. Then Kevin Love stands up and he's like, I am the man in Cleveland. Then LeBron looks at him, he's like, and they call you a big man. Yo, like, that's just savage, bro. Love like that.
One of my favorite ones is the Feast of the East. When Cleveland wins and they're hosting all the Eastern Conference houses, so you have Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie going back and forth about how Boston's first in the conference at the time, and how there's a new king of the East. And LeBron goes, "We're doing this again," and then it goes through all the flashbacks of every.
They go all the way back to 2012. It's like, Paul, you literally did this last year.
You're on your last legs, LeBron, and this time I mean it.
This time I mean it. Nah, man.
And then when Isaiah Thomas realizes like it's a trap, LeBron wins the East every year. It's a trap. We better start tanking. And then like it cuts to Kevin Love and he blocks the door with a broom.
The sweet broom. Oh, one of the best character developments, of course, is the Sun Kings.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Kings are they're the new dynasty.
Yeah. And the team that get massacred by the Dream Team.
Sacrifice to the Dream Team.
Speaking of the Kings, when they're doing the draft lottery episode, and then Lottie Divac realizes that he doesn't have his first round pick, and he's like, "You should give House Kings the second round pick." He's like, "No, that would go to House Blank." He's like, "Oh shit, I did that."
Yeah, I did that. Oh, remember the scene where Dame and CJ they're walking through the woods and then they meet Wiggins, Cat, and Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
And he's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Wiggins and this is Cat. We were both Squire of the Year. And he's like, and who's the skinny one? And it's Zach LaVine. He's like, I do cool dunks.
And also when they established Portland as the Brotherhood with one banner.
Brotherhood with one banner. Reckless, bro.
Oh man. One of my all-time favorite ones, and this is gonna seem biased, but it's also one of the best episodes, when they covered the DeMar DeRozan trade. That's a perfect episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually dope though.
I think it was voted the best episode. Like the Bleacher Report did like a fan poll. I think that one was number one.
It was one of
the that one's just a classic. That was the one that I was gonna mention as my favorite too. It's like that one was, you look at it and it was brilliant in like every way. And as a Toronto fan, especially, man, that was hilarious. But especially like Jakob Poeltl just being like, oh, it's
hello.
Jakob Poeltl.
Jakob Poeltl put him. Hello.
What does Drake say to you? God's plan? Drake?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Also with that episode, one of my favorite small details is that when you look at Drake's face, he has like stitches over his face because of the episode where LeBron like kills the Raptors and like he's wearing Drake's face.
Oh yeah.
So Drake has the stitches because he got his face fixed up.
That's
And also when Ujiri forgets the first round pick and he throws it in the Raptors' mouth and it hits like DeMar's like, oh, ow.
Let's not forget as well with the Raptors previously, a couple seasons back or whatever, what was it, Terrence Ross trade?
Yeah.
For the horse?
We'll take the horse.
That shit was hilarious.
We'll take the horse.
Who knew the horse would be a pivotal character in Game of Zones?
Facts.
Shit was hilarious. He's like, you traded me for a horse.
You could have Mario Hazonia or the horse.
Or this horse.
What does Hazonia do? He scores 4 points a game. And what about the horse? Well, it's a horse. It does horse things.
It does horse things. I don't know.
Oh man.
Game of Zones is live. Okay, so the last 3 episodes of Game of Zones.
Yeah.
Oh man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Kind of segues into what we're dealing with right now. The Dream Team, so it builds by the soul box being broken.
Yeah.
And the shards of the soul box resurrects the Dream Team. Everyone's in their prime. And the Dream Team is coming to destroy Bolaros. And the media dell puts together their team to defend the realm, headed by LeBron, of course. And then the side story is Kyrie, Russ, DeMarcus, Draymond, Kevin Durant, and these guys, they're gonna destroy the media doll because they've been snubbed.
And Melo.
And Jimmy Butler, they've been snubbed, so they're gonna destroy the media doll. All power to you, go for it. Best part of that is definitely the Swamp Lizard.
Oh yeah.
Oh hey guys.
What's going on? Hey Kyrie.
Hey Kyrie.
Brought some friends.
Hey, you guys want to destroy the media doll? Yeah, I'm down.
I completely forgot about the Swamp Dragon thing.
He's a G. Swamp Dragon's a G.
Swamp Dragon was so funny.
One of the best things about that storyline is one of the best lines where Doc is there. He's doing like his team speech, and he's letting them know like what the goals are, what they're gonna do. Carlisle's like, we're gonna have to hit them with the barrage of threes, and James Harden's like, I'll hit them with so many step backs. It's beautiful. And then Doc says, it doesn't matter though, because we have the ultimate weapon. And he looks up and he's like, we have LeBron. And LeBron's like, yeah, I'm gonna take my talents to the bathroom.
He runs away.
Goes to the bathroom. And he's like, he's got this.
Also, when they're strategizing, D'Antoni tries to put Steph Curry at the 5. You go small.
No. Oh my.
Bro, I love like the Black Crows. They're like Jordan's the GOAT. This air is trash.
Yeah, the Twitter birds.
Jordan's the GOAT.
Nah,
Zero
bro,
soft.
the part where they destroyed the media deal and Stephen A. and Skip reunited.
Oh man,
Oh,
That was perfect.
that was emotional.
Looks at him, he just hugs him.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
That was perfect. They need each other, man. We need that reunion one day.
Also, Dame Lillard's song when they're getting ready for the battle.
I was
Bruh.
gonna say he was spitting bars there.
He was spinning
Bro.
super. And they're like, oh wow, that was actually really good. Like for a night, that was really good.
Really good.
Position.
And they said Victor Oladipo. No, he's great. He's fun.
He's great.
You know, that guy, he's a good bard.
The first Lillard song they did with when it's Portland and Boogie when they catch him before he goes to Golden State. That's a really good one also.
Yeah.
It's bars, man. He's doing his thing. So I have to say though, the ending ruined my life. It ruined my life in the same way Game of Thrones ruined my life, because I realized that I invested 2 years of my life
Yeah.
it's the
only
truth though.
catch up on things that I had missed, just to realize that, like, Brendan Stark, that's who you guys are gonna lay. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Big finale. So I'm thinking Game of Zones is gonna do something similar, but they're gonna have to keep it within the realm of possibility of the NBA. You know, LeBron and the Dream and the Redeem Team, they defeat the Dream Team. Everything is good. And he's even sitting there on the throne, and Michael Jordan is amongst the elders sitting in row, which is great. And then Kyrie stands up with his dumb ass. And they crown Paul Pierce as the GOAT.
That shit was so funny.
That was so funny.
I was sitting there like, really? That's what we're doing?
What was
But
the name of the book at the very end that
Huh?
Paul Pierce was writing?
The Game of Zones.
Oh, they killed
Yeah,
it.
no,
was
it's talking
like-
about the truth.
Like that?
Oh yeah, the truth.
I was dying. I'm like, the only way this works out is if Paul Pierce is the author of the whole story. And I was like, yep. Well
But
done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, why did they do Bill Russell like that? Why did they
Yeah,
give him
what?
that voice?
The highest
No.
voice.
because he's old.
He said, I got 13 of them motherfuckers.
They're super dissing.
Also, they still kept Larry Bird having 3 eyes, even though he's like in human form. He still has the 3rd eye over his forehead.
He's the all-seeing eye.
Um,
No, I think in as far as like TV shows go, and as far as like multiple layers of references and absolute entertainment, kudos to the Game of Zones crew. Like that, one of the single greatest things I've ever invested my time in.
can I make one more honorable mention for an episode?
Yeah, go ahead.
Clyde Drexler talking to Kristaps Porzingis when he's injured, and
Oh,
and James Dolan comes in.
Yeah, wow. Yo,
You
in that shit.
You pretend you're razzling dazzling, and inside you're crying and dying.
Oh man. Oh, the episode where Dirk tells Luka that he's the next Dirk, and then he tells Kristaps he's the next Dirk, and he's like, "What if you're both the next Dirk?"
And also Maxi Kleber.
Damn.
Right.
And the draft lottery, the Triple Dirks show up, and they have to pick one representative for Dallas. Oh,
that was a good show.
Oh,
Nah,
man.
great show. Great show.
I'm watching those videos for a long time afterwards.
Oh, of course.
Oh man,
I'll make sure my kids watch Game of Thrones. Like, if you want to learn the history of the NBA, this is crucial. These are crucial times.
I didn't expect that they were going to bring. I obviously, because of his passing, I guess they made sense. But I didn't expect they were going to bring Kobe Bryant in because of the whole story of him trying to destroy LeBron's legacy in LA when he's leading the Mamba fans against King James.
Yeah. That was funny though.
That was
It was hilarious.
I guess, well, they kind of rectified that a little bit when they said, like, when Kobe's talking to LeBron, he says, like, you're my legacy, and those guys in there, they are our legacy.
Yeah.
He kind of deals with that a little bit.
It worked really well, but I didn't expect them to pull that off.
And hey, man, again, like, the guys, the writers of the show, the animators, the producers, everybody, like, they handled that shit from start to finish. Can I ask you why RJ Barrett is in your background, bro?
Listen, man. Focus on Game of Zones. Leave my background alone.
I wasn't doing gallery view. I was just doing the speaker view, so I didn't see you on the screen until right now because Jack just signed out. What are you doing? We want people to watch our podcast. We want people to sign out immediately.
Listen, people like RJ Barrett. They don't like. Come on, don't do that.
He from Canada.
First of all, you in here with a bunch of Canadians and you gonna ask who? Come on, man.
Bro,
don't do that.
I mean, he did play at Duke.
Exactly. Come on, man.
Panky, do you like RJ Barrett?
It's now he's on the Knicks. It's a troubled relationship.
Love hate. That's cool.
When he plays for Canada, it'll be all good.
We love to hate him. That's it. Ain't no love hate.
No, you love to hate him. That's okay.
I just feel bad for him as well.
Cool, like, dude, if he went to Toronto, hey, all power to you, bro. You went to the Knicks. I mean, I know it was a choice, but damn.
Nobody told him to be good enough to get the number 3 pick. He should have been trash. Maybe he'd be better off.
Wow, should have been trash, huh?
Wow.
He should have been trash. Nobody told him to be good enough to get the number 3 pick. Shit.
If only he was, wouldn't have been a number 3 pick, maybe. That nigga was 5'4". It would have been a different situation.
God.
Oh, I'm bugging. Nah, for those of you out there, Warren is not 5'4". I'm dissing. He's like 5'6".
I'm 5'8". Thank you.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Oh, dang. Hey, you know what's bad? When Nate Robinson is taller than you, bro. Like,
He's not. He is. Nate Robinson is 5'5". That nigga ain't taller. I can see over that nigga hairline.
Oh.
I guess I don't disrespect me like that. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, so let's get this top. So last week we talked about the kings of the 2020, and who would be the future king of the 2020s in the NBA. So what we want to look at this week is we want to talk about the relationship between the eras in the NBA. So from the 80s, 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. Obviously, we know who the kings of the certain eras were. Like, so if we had to say, like, the king of the 90s, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Michael Jordan.
Of course.
Everybody agree? The
Of
king
course.
of 2000, the king of the 2000s, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, it's kind of I guess a dual partnership between Shaq and Kobe, and then Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. Like, they ran the early 2000s into mid to late 2000s.
Yeah.
2010 was LeBron's time. The 2020s remains to be seen. I believe it'll be Zion, Ja. You know, they're going to do their thing. The 80s, we could talk about You know, we could talk about the bad boy Pistons in the latter half of the 80s, and the earlier half we could talk about, you know, Magic and Bird. But what we want to look at right now is the relationship between the different eras and how, quite frankly, how people are just shitting on our present day NBA because they don't think that present day athletes could compete in the past. And I find it interesting because the NBA is the only sport where, for some reason, people believe that as athleticism improves, as skill sets improve, as game sense improves, and as game knowledge improves, the athletes are getting worse. I don't understand that. Like, and when you, I'll give you an example. Nowhere, no one who understands sports would ever look at present day Olympic sprinters and say, yeah, but they could never compete with the sprinters in the 80s. No one would look and say, nah, like Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and them dudes, they could never compete with the football players in the 80s. What? Nobody would look at Tom Brady, you know, look at people like Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and then be like, nah, but they could never compete with the likes of, you know, Steve McNair.
Yeah.
So why is it that as athleticism and all these things get better in the NBA, people seem to think that the old guys were just better by virtue? One thing you brought up was the comments that Spencer Dinwiddie made about being 6'6" with a 40-inch vertical, being considered unathletic. But that was the very thing that made Michael Jordan the most athletic thing that anyone had ever seen in the early 90s. So talk to me, like, what do you guys think? Like, why do you think that's the case? Like, why is our generation of athletes being disrespected so much in the NBA?
I think here's what I think. I think, as every other sport, a lot of these analysts in the NBA were former players. So a lot of these guys don't want to let go of the fact that there's a possibility that this era could be better than their era. And a lot of them they're kind of holding on to their era, and it's like, yeah, my era was the best, and my era was the best. You know what I mean? And I feel like that has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? And you got to look, most of these analysts are in their 40s, 50s. A lot of these guys are older. You know what I mean? If you look at a lot of the younger analysts, they tend to lean toward this era more. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's pretty much the law of physics. You know what I mean? As time goes on, things just get better. And I see that the NFL respects that. You know what I mean? The NHL respects that. Even Major League Baseball, they respect that. But for some reason, the NBA just...
I just don't understand what it is about NBA old heads that just can't seem to respect the growth of the game. Like, sorry, Dylan, what was you about to say?
I think it's about styles of play and stuff, because I think there's more players now that will be able to play back then than back then being able to play now in the NBA.
That's a fact.
I mean, not many could shoot back then, like, say, like 40%. Like, it was very rare.
That's a very valid point. Very valid point. Yeah.
Like, one of the things I was looking at is like, okay, so people say like the 90s was just too physical. Okay. Hand checking was, I think, what they took hand checking out in the early 2000s, right? Like 2000.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Hand checking is a rule that basically, for those who don't really know what hand checking is, you can put your hand on a defender and guide his movement. And the NBA took that out so that you can't keep your hand on someone's body. You could press, you could tap, you could press, but you can't leave it there, right? I'm pretty damn sure that LeBron James at 6'9", 265 wouldn't be bothered by a hand check to the point where it changes his whole game and he can no longer be effective. You know, I'm pretty sure if Magic Johnson could deal with the hand check and John Stockton could deal with the hand check and, you know, Mark Price could deal with the hand check, then so could guys like Derrick Rose and Chris Paul and LeBron James. And like, they would have found ways to get around that the same way the other guys did too.
Yeah.
Also, people, the handling is much better. So Steph Curry and Kyrie are going to be shattering more ankles in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
than
yeah.
like in the modern era. So hand checking won't be even a relevant thing when you're getting crossed over left and right.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I want to look at the inverse side of that. Like, a lot of players in the 90s, 80s, you know what I mean? Hand checking, like you said, it allows you to guide the players' movements. Today, players have to move their feet in order to play defense. You can't use your hands at all, pretty much. Yeah. And a lot of these old analysts disrespect these players today, like, oh yeah, there's no defense being played, there's no this, there's no that. So for a guy like Kawhi Leonard, a guy like Paul George, a guy like LeBron in his prime, a guy like Kobe, you know what I mean? These guys were forced to play defense without their hands. So, in my opinion, the defenders today are a lot more talented, you know what I mean? Because it's easy to hand check and guide somebody. If somebody's about to blow by you and you can just like, you ain't going nowhere, you ain't going nowhere. You can't do that today. You got to move your feet.
Right.
So how dare them disrespect these defenders today when they were literally, in a sense, it's cheating. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So how could you say that defense today is weak and defense today is not the same? Like, I don't respect that. I really don't.
I will say the emphasis on defense today is not the same, insofar as, you know, you got like look at the D'Antoni approach. Like, you know, forget defense, just score more points.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams adopt that philosophy. I think one of the things that made the Warriors in 2018 so like lethal was the fact that they adapted the best of both worlds. They would score as many as they possibly could, but they were also a very defensively sound team.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's another reason the Raptors were so successful when in this past season when they won the championship. Like, they were a defensively sound team.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Michael Jordan, as much as I love Michael Jordan, I don't think Michael Jordan would have survived would have excelled the way that he did and made it look so easy and so pretty the way that he did against some of the zone defenses that we see today. Because coming from experience as a basketball player, when you beat your man one-on-one and you get that step, driving to the lane becomes a little bit easier, especially if the big men don't rotate fast enough. So you get all kinds of fancy dunks and all kinds of open layups and all kinds of cool shit. It's not that easy to do that when you beat one level of the zone and then there's another level waiting right behind you. I played ball like 3 times a week before we went into quarantine, and I play in a league. Me and some of my boys, some of the most athletic dudes that I know, like, I mean, not just to my own horn, but like, we're pretty athletic guys. And we lost games to teams that were not nearly as athletic as we were, simply because their zone defense was tight. And it was hard to get past it. And it was either we shot jump shots all night long and shot our way into a victory, or we lost. And like Dylan, you said, like, some of those guys weren't great shooters. So it wasn't like, it's not like they're going to jump into our generation and just start shooting lights out. They're not.
I don't know. Okay, so can we all agree that Kobe is an extension of like what Michael Jordan would have been, kind of in the modern era?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly what season it was, but Kobe was averaging 35 points a game when he had like no teammates.
He only did that once though.
Yeah, correct. And okay, so I think Jordan could do better than 35 a game in today's game, because fouls are a lot more sensitive than it was even in the early 2000s or mid 2000s when Kobe did that.
The reason I'll say that I don't agree with that is because Jordan wasn't as good of a shooter from long range as Kobe was.
So he just didn't shoot that much.
And he was good he was at one point Kobe was shooting 50% from 3. Michael Jordan
shooting
Kobe held the record for most threes in a game for like 5 years. He held the record for the most threes in a game. Like, Kobe was an assassin. And on top of that, Michael's post game was great. Kobe's post game is better. You know what I mean? So it's like, and at the end of the day, the guy never played against his own defense. Like you said, Kobe is an extension of what he would have done today. But at the end of the day, I don't see him averaging 35, 40 points. I mean, he might have did it like once, maybe twice, but on the regular, like he only averaged 30 points for his career. Now, that's a lot. You know what I mean? But I don't see him averaging more than that if he plays in this era. You know what I mean?
But he was averaging like 35, 34 before he started playing like with Pippen and playing with his team.
Yeah, because it was only him, and he wasn't going against zone defenses. You know what I mean? Like,
but they was aggressively like helping on the defense. So every time he would go to the rim, it'd be like just stop Jordan before he can get into the air. It'll be 3-on-1 as soon as he gets to the basket, but they couldn't stop him anyway.
Yeah, but the guy's mid range was amazing. There are zone defenses that are tailored against stopping the mid range.
And so plus today, even if he does drop to the basket, he's gonna get fouled because they call fouls so easily now.
Let me ask you.
James Harden gets like 15 free throws a game, and Jordan wasn't a bad free throw shooter. So I mean,
he wasn't. No, you're right. You're right. Let me ask you a question. Right? Who do you think is a better mid range shooter, Michael Jordan or Carmelo Anthony?
Michael Jordan.
Jordan.
Okay.
For sure.
The reason I asked that question is because I think Carmelo Anthony is one of the best shooters that we've seen in recent history.
Definitely.
And his game is completely obsolete because of proper zone defenses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that would have happened to MJ. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying MJ would be trash in this era. No, I think he would still
he would still average like 30.
He'll be arguably one of the best players of all time.
Yeah.
But what is like Michael Jordan is an exception to the rule in the sense that like he would be let me put it this way. Michael Jordan could play in our era, but Patrick Ewing would be no better than Roy Hibbert in our era. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
Somebody like Patrick Ewing, who was a Hall of Famer, All-Star, I think we can all agree that of all people, Patrick Ewing should have at least gotten a championship, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He would be no better than Roy Hibbert in our era today because he can't shoot. He's just a big body with slow feet who can protect the paint. Roy Hibbert. I think somebody like Clyde Drexler would have been no better than Vince Carter in our era today. And Vince Carter's far more athletic than Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, Vince is giving him way too much. I'm giving that motherfucker like CJ McCollum.
I give him Terrence Ross.
Oh, wow.
Damn, I wasn't going to go that low.
Wow.
You could have said like any Terrence Ross.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Wow, that's getting worse.
Nah, but yeah, Jordan is, don't get it twisted. Like, LeBron is my favorite player. Before LeBron, it was Jordan. Before, you know what I mean? But before LeBron, it was Iverson. Before Iverson, it was Jordan. You know what I mean? And I do think he would have been amazing today. You know what I mean? But I just don't think he would have been the clear-cut GOAT today because there's a lot more competition that he would have had to deal with, especially in the 2000s as well. You know, going against the Kobes and the T-Macs and the Iversons and the Wades, the LeBrons, the Melos. Like, he would have still been a top 5 player, maybe top 3. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to shit on this man at all. But I just feel like today he would have had to work a lot harder to score those points. You know what I mean?
So now let me ask you this, right? Because if we're gonna be proper about this, we have to consider the recency effect.
Mm-hmm.
The recency effect in this regard being that because we grew up watching these guys in particular, we look at all of them as all-stars and such amazing players. What are the chances, or do you guys think that in the 80s, for example, because we about 5, 6, maximum 10 guys in the 80s that were set apart, right? Do you think that in the 80s everybody had their own pick too? Like there were guys who might not be household names now who were household names back then. Mark Price, John Starks, Doc Rivers, these guys who were ballers in their own right, but we just don't really look at them now as like representatives of their era just because they weren't the best of the best, but they were still all-stars. They were really good. Like Larry Nance Sr. What's his name? I can't remember his name. The dude who was in the dunk contest, light-skinned dude, his nickname was Skywalker.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
These guys were really good in their day, but like we wouldn't talk about them now because like Michael was better, Larry Bird was better, Magic was better, Clyde was better, Scotty was better. But like 50 years from now, are people going to be sitting around talking about Carmelo Anthony and Damian Lillard or are they just gonna focus on Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant?
That's a good question.
I think they'll talk about Dame because he's hit so many friggin' buzzer beaters.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do they talk about guys like James Harden? Like, sure, James Harden did amazing things, but you don't have no rings, bro. Like, nobody cares. Russell Westbrook, same thing. Like, I get it, bro. Like, you're cool and you were fun to watch, but, like, you're not winning nothing, so does it really matter?
I don't know, man.
Like, I mean, you got people that don't have championships, but they have like major accomplishments, like the triple double for a whole season. James Harden averaging 36 for like 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll get remembered by that, but like people that like not gonna be memorable, like Kevin Love. No one's really gonna know about him on the Timberwolves.
Hey, we not talking about Kevin Love now, so that's not miss me with the whole Kevin Love, bro. Like,
that's a good point, though. That's a good point. You know what? I think the 2000s and the 2010s are gonna be remembered as some of the most competitive eras ever. Because if you go to the 90s, right, and you look at when the season starts, like predictions, who's gonna win the championship? You know what I mean? It was always the fucking Bulls, bro. If you look at the first 3 years of the 2000s, like, motherfuckers said the Lakers before they even blinked. It's just like, yes, Lakers, bro. Like, come on. Like, why are we even doing this? Like, we knew nobody was beating Kobe and Shaq back then. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they had a slightly tough road in the West, but once they got to the finals, it's like, yeah, Allen Iverson and friends, yeah, we're gonna kick your ass. Then it was the Nets. It's like, then it's old ass Reggie Miller and friends. It's like, yeah, like, why are y'all even here? Like, just give us the title right now. You know what I mean? I feel like today, it's a lot more from 2010 to now. You know what I mean? You had the Heat, you had the Spurs that were on a roll. You know what I mean? That Dallas Mavericks team that was extremely slept on. You had the fucking the Lakers that were coming off the two-peat. You know what I mean? Looking to three-peat and fucked around and got swept in the second round. You know what I mean? You had the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I mean?
Oklahomies?
Yeah. You know what I mean? You had the Warriors. You got the Raptors. You know what I mean? You got the Bucks. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
I know what's coming.
You didn't have the Raptors. Nobody had the
shit.
Shut that shit all the way down.
I
live in the greater Toronto area.
You live in Toronto.
Tell you that Toronto was not a threat to anything and or anyone in the NBA until 2017, and even then they got swept. And then
man.
Again, and then they had Kawhi Leonard.
Vincent T-Mac were a threat. Vincent T-Mac, that team scared people.
Panky and Jack, I'm going to go to bat on y'all behalf. I hate the fucking Raptors, but I got to defend y'all real quick. Okay. The Raptors won 50 games. What was it? 4 years in a row. They were first in the East twice. Like, to say that they weren't a threat.
They got swept every single time
because of LeBron James, bro. Like, let's say LeBron wasn't in the East. Let's say LeBron wasn't in the East. The Raptors
championship. We're talking about a threat to the championship, right,
bro? If LeBron wasn't in the East, the Raptors could have very well made it to the finals a couple of those years.
They could have, but we're not talking about possibilities. We're talking about what happened. And
I'm about to say, even didn't the Hawks win like 50 games in like 2 seasons?
The Hawks won 60 games, and I mean, listen, their record against the West was impeccable that year. The Hawks were the real deal that year. It's just they ran into LeBron. Like, you got to remember, just like Jordan stopped plenty of people from winning championships, so did LeBron James. You know what I mean? So it's just unfortunate.
For you to get if it happened once, I would understand. For example, like, the Pacers were a threat because there were moments when against LeBron James in the conference finals, you were like, yo, the Pacers might actually take this thing.
Oh yeah.
Not never. Not once. Ever.
I tried, guys. I tried. Y'all gonna have to take it from here. I tried. Like, y'all gotta take it from here.
One time did I look at DeMar DeRozan and say, DeMarvelous is gonna beat LeBron James.
That's a
Jack,
fact.
get
That's a
him, Jack.
fact.
Get him, Jack. You
The
keep
more
quiet,
I
man.
say
Get
it,
'em.
the more I hate it. Like, shut up. The Raptors were not a threat.
That's a fact.
Listen, I'll be honest with y'all. As a LeBron fan, in 2018, that's the year that it took them 7 games to beat the Pacers in the first round. I was very fucking scared to play the Raptors.
Exactly.
In that game.
I was shocked.
I was terrified.
I was
Okay,
terrified.
terrified.
And then what happened, Figgy? Tell me what
Bro,
happened after
LeBron,
that.
the man went crazy, bro. It was one
And
game.
then who he meet in the Eastern Conference Finals?
He ended up meeting the Celtics. You know what I
And
mean?
then
Like,
what happened?
he went crazy again. You know what I mean? Like, bro, they should have never made it out of the second round that year. They shouldn't have. It was just LeBron going crazy, you
But
know.
that's
And
what I'm saying, though. Like, you gotta look at it like
Yo, let me read you. Let me read
threatened
you.
LeBron.
Let me read you something right here. Okay, the disrespect here is unbelievable.
Yeah.
go ahead, man.
Let me just list some names for you, and you tell me that this doesn't instill fear into any opponent.
If you say Mo Pete, I'm gonna slap you.
This is gonna backfire.
Yo, Becky don't got no faith in you, bro. This ain't looking good.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Leandro Barbosa,
Oh no.
All right.
Yo, nah, yeah, I'm out.
Andrea
Talking about the
Bargnani,
Brazilian blur?
This mother.
Andrea Bargnani, the greatest thing ever. Come out of the Knicks.
Rasul Butler,
My
Right.
nigga Mo?
Jose Calderon. Okay, actually, no, let's take that out of there. Jose is the truth. Okay.
So hold
We got-
on. Hold on, wait. Before you continue, the last 3 people you said was the Brazilian blur, my
Yeah.
nigga Primo, and Ra's al Ghul. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. But don't forget, okay?
Mhm.
Don't forget Aaron Gray,
Oh my god. I got out of
Linus
stroke.
Kleza, rep Lithuania. What?
I'm so upset right now.
There's a
Jamal
reason.
McGlory.
This is the reason why Jack left Toronto. We booted him for this ridiculousness.
Bro, Jamal McGlure. Are you kidding?
Oh my god.
Bruh, that nigga was better
Oh.
at Carabana than basketball, bro. That nigga was terrible.
That's a fact.
Actually, hey, inside information, bro. Jamal McGlure runs one of the bands. I won't call no names, but a couple of years ago, I mean, rumor has it he did some shady shit, and his band didn't really do too well
Oh no.
at their band. So
Damn.
he ain't even doing Carabana all that well, according to what I hear.
Let
No,
me disclaim that I'm not familiar with Jermaine. I don't know him. I'm not associated with him. So please
Hey,
please send your frustrations to him in Scarborough.
me and Pecky went to school together. We lived on rest together. We played
Nope.
football together.
Never happened. Wrong. Other Panky.
I know him.
Other
How many
than-
people do you know named Panky? Fuck out of here, bro. Nah, all I'm saying is, like, I digress. The Raptors were never truly a threat because they didn't threaten.
that comes back to it.
Now, when you look at that's what I'm talking about. When you look at teams who did threaten LeBron, the Hawks were a threat at one point. We thought that they were going to make it happen. The
That
Pacers
one
were
year,
a
the
threat.
Hawks were so good that year. Oh my God.
Exactly.
That team
They
was
were
so good.
unbelievably good. Like, we were like, yo, damn, this might be it. The
Kyle
Pacers,
Korver was
always-
not.
We called them the Spurs of the East. That was
Yeah.
a thing.
Yep.
the Pacers were always a threat. The Hawks were a threat, but the Celtics and the Raptors were never a threat.
The
Ever.
Celtics
Not
were
to
never a
LeBron
threat.
James, not to James, not to the year they got swept. No, they weren't. They're a threat
I'm not
now.
talking about. I ain't talking about those Celtics. The Celtics in 2018 that took them niggas to 7 games, they were a threat, bro. They were a threat.
Oh
It was
my God, Jason Tatum dunking on LeBron. Oh my God.
Yeah, that
I don't
team
even
was a
talk
threat.
about it. I don't
Well,
want to
that
talk
team-
about it.
Honestly, if Kyrie played in that series, they would have lost in 5.
Oh,
They would have lost in
Yeah.
5 if Kyrie played in that series.
I
No,
don't know.
not the Cavs. The Celtics would have lost in 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, they were better
Yeah.
without Kyrie, like way
okay.
better without him. Yeah,
I see that. I agree with
Yeah.
that. I agree with that.
yeah,
But that's just all it is. So
yeah.
you really gotta look at like who do the fans look at as like this could be the next man up. Kyle and DeMar were never looked at as the next man up. I don't care how much of a fan you are.
Oh
We
man.
always knew that when they ran into LeBron, it was over. There were memes at the beginning of the season. The Raptors in the regular season, Jurassic Park. The Raptors in the playoffs, Barney and friends. Like, cut it out. Cut that shit all the way.
As a LeBron fan, you can't really talk about memeable players. He's the freaking king of freaking memed players. So calm down.
That is true.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. But he was never referred to as a plush doll. So I'm good.
Just a balding giant crybaby who has hair plugs.
Who is the greatest player of all time and has 3 championships? Cool.
Excuse me. We already determined Paul Pierce is the greatest of all time. So stop this right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, tell yourself, bro.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Paul Pierce is the 17th best shooting guard of all time.
And number 1 in your hearts.
Number 1 in his heart.
In his heart. Suck a left nut, bro. I can't. This nigga,
Guy
boy.
thinks he's better than D Wade. You should have checked his pulse back then. Shit.
I don't. Shit. Damn this nigga. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, right? We already established, like, we kind of figure out, like, maybe it's just the fact that the old heads they can't let go of the past. They can't relinquish the crown to some of the young guys coming up. I'm gonna give you guys some names. I'm just gonna call out names, and I want you to tell me if they could play in the 80s, 90s, or vice versa. They could play in the 2010s, 2000, or the 2000s, 2010s. Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with something simple. Karl Anthony Towns, 80s, 90s, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Now, Jack, why do you say no? Because I agree with you.
I think at that time, if you wanted to be a big man, you had to be tough. And I think Karl Anthony Towns is a whiny little bitch.
Is a bitch.
Wow.
Fact. You think
Fair
Karl
enough.
Anthony Towns was guarding somebody like David Robinson?
Now, I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing quickly, just because this podcast does have a heart. Okay, he just went through some stuff. I feel bad for his family. On the court, he's a bitch. In life, let's be nice.
Of course.
No disrespect to his family, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Like, just on the court.
R.I.P. for that. Like we.
Yeah. Condolences, man. The condolences. You know.
I felt like we needed that. My bad. I kind of went aggressive on it without prefacing with that.
That's fair. Now, in today's game, Karl Anthony Towns is one of my favorite players. No doubt about it. I'm just saying that back then he just couldn't compete.
No.
Okay. All right. Let me give you.
I think his jump shot would have made a big difference.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a small
like
guy. He weighs
Sigma.
just as much, if not more, than like a lot of the big men from the 90s.
Yeah, but he's not as agile as them. Like, if you look at
What?
Sorry, let me explain what I meant. I didn't mean agile as a big man, but like if you put Karl Anthony Towns to guard someone like Dominique. Dominique wasn't really a big man, but that's who he would have had to guard because of his game style. Dominique would have swifted that nigga's left, right, and center. If you put him to guard Shaq or David Robinson or Patrick Ewing, they would have manhandled him all up and down the court. Not because he's not strong or because he's not heavy, because that's just not his game style. He doesn't play big.
That I do agree with.
He likes to step back and shoot. So he would have been either guarding guys like Dominique Wilkins or Charles Barkley, which those guys were too agile for him, or he would have been guarding guys like Shaq, David Robinson, and Patrick Ewing, and they were just too strong for him.
Yeah.
Agree?
I feel like he would have been like the Jack Sigma.
Right.
That game.
Exactly. Now, how many people know who that is? Show of hands.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Like, sorry. Come on, man. All right, let me give you another. We'll go the opposite route now, from that era to this era. How many people think that Vlade Divac would have been a good big man in today's game?
Vlade would have been as effective today as Sean Bradley was back then. Yeah.
Vlade would have been as effective today as Timothy Mozgov. Vlade was trash.
He would be like Boban Marjanovic.
He'd be a slightly better Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
He had Yo, we had him. What was his name? We had Vladdy. What was his name? Fuck. We had him. He was on the Timberwolves recently. Nikola Pekovic?
Oh shit.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
pretty much him.
Mirotic. Not Mirotic.
That was pretty much him. Pekovic, right?
yeah, it was technically.
That's pretty much Vladdy Divac. Let's be real.
God.
And that's garbage.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's back it up again. Patrick Patterson. Do you think he would be effective in the 80s, 90s?
That nigga ain't shit today.
Hey, at times he was effective. I'm not talking about being great. I'm just talking about being effective.
I mean,
Man, effective off the bench.
yeah. I mean, I don't. Man, listen, that motherfucker can hold my water. Like, yeah, just hold that.
All right. What about like Zach Randolph? I feel like he would have fit in perfectly back then.
Yeah,
too.
I think
He
so.
would've.
That's a good one.
Zebo would have fit in. Zebo would have fit in because he was gritty. I think Zebo was the last of a dying breed.
Oh yeah, Zebo was hard nosed. Like I love the way Zebo played.
He's like Charles Oakley.
Yeah.
He played power forward like he was a linebacker.
Yeah, Zebo's style, his whole style of basketball was just gritty, man. He's
He told DeMarcus Cousins, he's like, where I come from, bullies get bullied.
Yeah.
Exactly. But same ways like Zebo wouldn't survive. I think Zebo left at the right time because imagine him playing now.
Yeah,
You know, it's like stretch big and, you know.
I mean, he had a jump shot. He had a jump shot. He would have
He had a jump shot. Yeah.
He did, but he would have been guarding on the perimeter, though.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily talking about his offensive ability because he's going to bully, but his defensive ability, guarding on the perimeter, that might not have worked out too well for him. Because you got to think, like, how many big men now are starting to shoot from long range? Anthony Davis is shooting threes. DeMarcus Cousins was shooting threes. Kristaps Porzingis shooting threes. You had LaMarcus Aldridge shooting closer to the 3-point line.
Oh no, he could hit them threes. He could definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not consistent, but he's taking steps back.
He can hit them. Yeah.
You got Jokic shooting from long range.
Towns.
You know, Joel Embiid
from long range. Embiid is working his way up to it. You know, Zebo would have to guard one of them. And like, I'm sorry, bro, but like Zebo was the dude that you could take him to a knife fight and guarantee a victory. But take him to a sniper battle, and I don't know, bro. Like
I'm trying to find somebody to compare him to right today. I don't know, bro. Like who would y'all compare Zebo to today?
There is nobody in the league right now.
No, it's a different.
I don't see anybody in the league right now like Zebo. The closest person right now is
Draymond. Maybe Draymond.
Draymond
I can see why you said that.
Draymond could suck it. Absolutely not. Draymond is not tough enough to be like Zebo. No.
No, he's not.
He's not. Not even close. Draymond is – first of all, Draymond is all talk.
I don't know about that, bro. I think Draymond is tougher than Zebo, honestly.
You know how –
Whoa, no.
No, hold on. Do you know how easy it is to look tough when the next toughest person on your team is Klay Thompson?
I don't know, bro.
Draymond Green played with the baby-faced assassin, Klay Thompson, and the Slim Reaper.
Let's not forget that Warriors team was top 5 in defense every championship they won. And
because they were smooth. But that has nothing to do with toughness. That has to do with their coaching. Their system was impeccable.
Also, it's easy to play defense when you're up 30 on somebody.
On defense, I mean,
Figgy, stop. It wasn't like there was bodying niggas left, right, and center.
I mean, the guy does have a defensive player of the year. You don't. Does Zebo have one of those?
We're not talking about his ability to play defense. We're talking about his ability to be tough. That's very different.
I mean, you can't play defense without being tough, in my opinion.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. I know guys who are amazing at defense who are just really good at playing the passing lane, playing you off the dribble, right? Like, for example, you know, somebody who's really good at defense who wasn't all that tough. Rip Hamilton. Good defender, not that tough. Who else? Bruce Bowen, great defender, not that
Whoa,
tough.
whoa. Stop right there.
I didn't say, listen.
Whoa. That is one of the toughest motherfuckers ever. That nigga was dirty.
He was not
shit.
He was gritty.
Dirty.
No, he was dirty also.
Yeah.
He was gritty, but he wasn't. When I say tough, I mean like strong and ready to body anyone that comes in his way. No. Stop. No.
I mean, people feared going against Bruce Bowen, though, bro.
Yes, because he was defensively sound.
Yeah.
Not because he was going to body you. Nobody thought LeBron James never went up against Bruce Bowen thinking, I'm going to get bodied all night long. No, he thought this nigga's going to pick my pocket and I won't even see it coming.
Well, that's true. If that's the case, then Kawhi Leonard ain't tough either. If that's the case.
Absolutely. Kawhi Leonard is not tough either.
You was about to call him a bitch.
Who said that nigga's a bitch?
Kawhi, if you listening, my nigga, you are a bitch. You should have came to LA, the Lakers.
Man, you know Kawhi's not listening.
We are getting goons sent to our houses. I'm not ready for this.
Nah, fuck you and your New Balances, nigga.
Oh, God, here we go.
Those are the ugliest shoes I ever seen in my life. I'd rather wear a paper bag on my foot than put them shits on. I ain't never wearing no but nothing. That disgusting.
It's all love, Kawhi. We just talking shit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Cut your hair, you animal.
Jesus Christ.
You a grown-ass man with cornrows. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Nigga looking like Reggie from Bad Boys.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you look 35. Nigga. Get out of here. When Omarion, Iverson, Bow Wow, and all them niggas cut their hair, Kawhi should have said, enough is enough. But this nigga kept his cornrows out here looking like a mangy mutt. Get the hell out of here, bro. The difference between what I mean when I say tough and defensively skilled is literally the separation between the 80s, 90s era and the 2010 era. Our era is more skilled, but those guys were just tough. And I agree with that in certain ways, but what I don't agree with is when people say like LeBron couldn't have played in the tough era. That's nonsense. Because LeBron's tough, Derrick Rose was tough, Dwayne Wade is tough, Chris Paul is tough. Those guys, they got beat up on the court every night and just kept coming back. Allen Iverson, beat up every night. But when we talk about Draymond Green being tough like Z-Bo, you crossed the line, bro. He was not.
Maybe I took it a little too far with that.
He's not as tough as Z-Bo. Unfortunately, don't see it. Z-Bo looks like mess around and do some Mike Tyson, bite your ear off at the free throw line. Like Z-Bo was an animal.
Yeah, that he was. That he definitely was.
Don't see Draymond doing. Draymond be doing dumb shit like kicking niggas in the balls. Like, get out of here with that. You know who kicks people in the balls? Your crazy ex-girlfriend. Get out of my face. Draymond Green, really? Come on now.
All right, throw another name out there.
All right, bet. So this is from 2010s. Could they have played in the 80s, 90s? Dame Lillard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's an all-time great. He's
Absolutely.
not going to be in the upper echelon, but he's keeps going to Hall of Fame career. He could have played anytime.
Absolutely.
Thanks. What do you
That
think?
guy,
Yeah, I think Dame could play. Yeah.
yeah, he's a threat as soon as he crosses the half-court line. He's a threat.
Let's flip the script. John Stockton.
Oh,
Wow, that's a very good one.
John Stockton would have been exactly like Rajon Rondo.
I don't even think you're right. I don't even think you're right on that.
I like that.
John Stockton was one thing
that.
you gotta remember about Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo has the longest. Rajon Rondo has orangutan arms.
Nah, he
He's
does.
very athletic. John Stockton was kind of slow. He played when the game was played at a slower pace. John Stockton, to me, and for those who really know me, know how much I love this dude. So this is actually quite praised for me. Outside the fact that he's a better shooter, John Stockton, athletically, Matthew Dellavedova.
No,
That's
but
mean.
but okay, John Stockton's not gonna go from all-time leading steals to Dellavedova. That's crazy.
Because handles were trash in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
Passes
they
were
were.
Dylan, you telling me handles were nice in the 80s and 90s, bro?
There's only two good
No,
ball
okay.
handlers back then. Yeah, there was
You-
Tim
you could-
Hardaway
you-
and Iverson.
you could say
Jordan was
that, like,
okay.
John's not gonna be like Patrick Beverly, at least. That's the lowest I'd go.
I think Deli is better than Pat Bev. So, like I said, everybody know me know I love Deli. So,
Yeah, you're very
I don't
skewed
think
on that.
I don't think they'll go.
I think he would still be effective passing the ball. Defensively, I think he would still be a decent defender, but he wouldn't be as good of a defender still.
Without being facetious, I think John Stockton would be as effective as Ricky Rubio.
I was gonna make that comparison. I was actually gonna make that comparison.
Like, he can shoot, he can make the pass, he's good on defense, he's got a good handle, but he's not gonna turn it around for his team, and he's not gonna be, a guaranteed all-star every year.
You know what it is? Conventional point guards don't really work in this era of basketball. Like, in order to be a good point guard, you have to be able to score the ball somewhat today. You know what I mean? Which is why Rondo's not effective anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to score the basketball. And granted, he could shoot, but if you look at John Stockton's numbers, his scoring numbers don't jump out at you at all. You know what I mean? It was more so his assisting and his defense that really got him into the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was pretty much just because like John Stockton scored when he had to score. That's the way I put it.
Yeah,
He scored.
Yeah.
He was like Steve Nash. He put up points when he had to.
Yeah, Steve was a lot better offensively, though. A lot better offensively.
He had more offensive options. Offensive weapons within himself. That brings me to my next one. In terms of a point guard who's able to score, John Wall. John Wall in the 80s, 90s, what do you think?
I think he would have fit in for the simple fact that shooting wasn't necessarily a necessity back then, and John Wall is athletic. I've seen him dunk on people, you know what I mean? He's a great passer when he's fucking healthy, but that's the thing. That's my biggest thing with John Wall.
Is he going Damian Stoudemire? Kind of.
Damian Stoudemire? That's not a bad comparison.
I see where he's coming from with that. Yeah, I think his handles would be a huge asset for him in the 80s and 90s. But I just see him getting friggin' punched at some point and then just take it out. Just some unfortunate stuff.
He's too fragile. He would be okay. He wouldn't be as good as he was in the 80s or 90s. I don't think he'd be as good.
Okay. Jack, what do you think?
Well, I think when you look at Rasul Butler, I think you gotta. He could play in any era, really.
Yo, get off my phone, bro. Get off my phone, bro.
Nah, you know who could have played? You know who could have played in any era though?
Who's that?
You said Abdul Rahim, I'm hanging up.
Well, actually, that's a really good point, but I won't go there. But Sharif Abdul Rahim. No, I'm kidding.
I hate this kid.
No, I actually, when you brought up Sharif, I forgot who I was gonna say. So I'm trying to talk until I remember, but I can't really. But who is it? Who is it gonna be? No, Tyler Hansbrough, Psycho T.
Oh my!
Any era,
Stop
this. Oh my gosh!
Stop!
Straight out of Vanderbilt, right?
Come on, Psycho T could definitely play in any era. I think. Yeah, definitely.
Hansbrough is the guy that gets yammed on by Michael Jordan on his highlight reel.
Oh yeah, Psycho T could play in any era of high school basketball.
No, didn't Tyler Hansbrough like piss his pants when he saw Ron Artest?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
probably. No, I think you got to look when we're looking at this with the different eras. It has to have a certain set of skills, or you have to have like your transcendent ability to be able to play.
And he has none of those.
No, he doesn't. But he does have the fire and the determination, which is why
he does.
Like,
that he does.
Which is why a player like I believe Patrick Beverly or Draymond Green could play in any era, just because they're just determined.
Yeah.
You know?
I could see Pat Bev in the 90s.
We have to check what the rules are for nut shots in the 90s and 80s.
Oh, I think they were far
Well, I
more
mean,
heated.
motherfuckers was getting clotheslined, so I think Draymond fit right in. You know?
Oh my goodness.
I got a question. So if you take all the alphas from these eras, right, and you take a room, you get Michael Jordan, you get LeBron James, you get Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson. I don't know who else you want to throw in there in a room. Wilt. Let's throw Wilt in there. You know what I mean? Who's the alpha in that room?
Wilt,
Really?
hands down.
Because he slept with everybody's wives.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah, man. Shit. Jack, that's a hard one, bro.
I'll tell you right now, the first person to fall, as much as I hate to say it, the first person to bow out of the
Kevin
race,
Durant.
LeBron. LeBron doesn't want to smoke with all those dudes. More so because LeBron's like, LeBron has that mentality that's like, look, man, I appreciate everybody. I love all the greats. You know, I'm just here to do me. I'm here to feed the kids. You know, I just want to play ball and have tacos on Tuesday. LeBron doesn't want.
Nah, I disagree with that. I think people take LeBron's kindness for weakness a lot. I disagree with that.
But what I'm saying, LeBron doesn't want to fight. I'm not saying he can't fight. I didn't say he's going to be the first one knocked out. He'll be the first one to bow out. He'll be like, I don't need this problem. I don't need this fight. What am I fighting for? I'm great now. I don't need this. Y'all want to relive your little glory days? That's fine. Do you. I got better shit to do. I got a $40 million school to take care of. Y'all take care of yourselves, right? LeBron steps out. Then you have Mike and Kobe. They're going to end up having a little bit of a weirdo father-son bromance, you know, a dance, and they're going to cancel each other out because they're just going to keep arguing about who has the better fadeaway. And then Shaq is going to be in the corner just trying to figure out how to uncross that one eye.
Oh, my God.
And then there's Wilt stroking everybody, mom and their wife. So I think Wilt is the alpha of all alphas. Like, Wilt kills it, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know. Russell Westbrook's a pretty good alpha. Like, he's pretty good alpha.
If we're talking about like a fight to the death, like last person standing kind of a thing, I'm gonna pick Kareem because he fought Bruce Lee.
Well, yeah, there you go.
So that's if we're talking about that. If we're talking about just like pure ego and like macho-ness, like I it's hard to knock Wilt off that list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we talking about, like, Wilt, what did he bench? Like
400 or 500 pounds, yeah.
Wilt was nasty, bro. Wilt was, he was a physical specimen. Like, we look at LeBron now as, like, something that is just to be marveled at. Wilt was doing that 30 years ago. Like, he was that good 30 years ago, and he was the only one that could do it. And he didn't have nearly the level of facilities and training and resource that LeBron has now. Wilt was just an alien.
Literally.
And he was not afraid to let everybody know it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He put you.
Also, the NFL wanted to sign Wilt before anybody else, like before any other NBA players were like, oh, maybe they were two-sport athletes.
Yeah. No, I think it's Wilt, hands down. Like, I think even Shaquille O'Neal would have to take a backseat to Wilt.
Oh, Wilt would bitch that nigga.
Oh my God!
Wow,
bitch him.
Wow.
I didn't say on the court. Don't get what I'm saying twisted.
I know, but that's
mentally.
still.
Nah, even still, I don't know about bitch him, but you know, I'm just saying, like, eventually Shaq would have to be like, you know what, fine, I get it.
You know what, Bill? You got it, Bill. I don't want to issue, Bill. You got it.
Yeah, you know,
it'll be Wilt, Shaq, and Charles Barkley just fighting each other on the court, rolling around.
And Charles will realize that he'd rather have a donut than have this conversation anyway. So he'll step out.
Also, Shaq would realize he has to do an Icy Hot commercial.
In fact, his back would start hurting, and he would run out of mouth minutes after he asked Kobe how his ass tastes.
Oh no,
that'd be you know. Magic Johnson is too polite. Larry Bird about to say, but after a while, Larry Bird is the same. Larry Bird is a lot like LeBron, where it's like, I play this game for the competition, and I'm here to bitch you on the court, But outside of that, I'm not here to argue with you about how much of a man you think you are or not. That's your problem, not mine.
Larry Bird's a finalist for the fight to the death.
Absolutely. But same way, like, I just don't think Larry Bird is the type of dude, and this is what I meant when I said LeBron be the first one to bow out. He doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. Whereas Wilt would be like, no, I'm still the stilt. I'm still 100 points a game, Wilt Chamberlain, you know? And he would want to hold that title because, you know, after him, there came other great big men, Kareem and Shaq, and Wilt is like, no, but I'm still Wilt. There's no Larry Bird after Larry Bird. After Mike, there came Kobe. There's no right now. Like LeBron can't really. Don't say Luka.
I mean, Kevin Durant's Larry Bird. I mean, he pretty much got everything.
What?
What?
Don't disrespect Larry Legend like that.
Interesting.
Kevin Durant is Larry Bird.
Here's
Interesting.
the thing, Kevin Durant, in my opinion,
in today's game, I mean, he's not exactly what he was in the '80s, but if you want to compare it to like today's game, yeah, he's the closest thing.
nah, Larry's a way better passer. It's not even close.
There's a
Like I
better
said, the closest thing. He's not gonna be exactly the same. But
Larry's a better rebounder too. I mean,
Better
I don't know.
better defense, better team leadership. I don't know about that, bro.
No disrespect to
KD
Kevin
got-
Durant. Yeah, no disrespect to KD. I said no disrespect to KD because I
All
think
the
KD's gonna go down as one of the greatest of all time when it's all said and done. But I just don't
all
see
you
the
do is-
comparison.
But they're both like 6'10", 6'11", whatever. They're very tall, small forwards. They can both shoot like 3-pointers easily. They can both go to the rim and finish. They can both deadly in mid range, turn around fadeaways on the block. They both got good defense. Kevin Durant does have good defense, whether you want to admit it or not. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Kevin Durant can't pass. It's just that he don't really have to because he can just pull up on everybody's faces.
I mean, Larry didn't have to either. Larry was good enough to score 40 a game if he wanted to. He just chose to off his teammates. You know what I mean? Like,
and Kevin Durant, he literally averaged like 33 with Westbrook and Ibaka, and like I think James Harden wasn't on the team anymore, but like the offense wasn't just focused around him.
no, yeah, you're right.
I just can't see.
I don't know.
Larry Bird has like 60 pounds on Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I think Larry Bird is more in the quote unquote point forward discussion, like Magic and like LeBron. In that,
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
They're not
That's
point
what I was
guards, but they will drive, kick out, and facilitate.
Yeah. And that's what Biggie meant by he's a better passer. Like, he's a better team facilitator. Kevin Durant's not a team facilitator.
Kevin Durant is an assassin. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Larry Bird was an assassin, but he was more of a pass first guy. You know what I
But
mean?
the other thing, though, do we know what Larry Bird averaged for rebounds in his career?
Double.
Yeah, man. So this guy had 10 rebounds and 6.3 assists. And I don't like if you look at newer players that are doing that, what is that? Luka? Who's doing that? Who's doing 25, 10, and 6?
I ain't gonna lie. I would probably give Luka Larry before I give it to KD. I'd give it to
Westbrook?
Luka.
I mean, Giannis.
Yeah. Yeah. But Giannis doesn't have the shooting. Westbrook, like he's different style, different.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong in saying Luka. The only reason I'm hesitant to accept it right now is just because it's too early to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too early, but if
He's
he
got-
continues down this path,
Yeah,
then
if he keeps up with it, like Luka Doncic could go down as a top 10 grade of all time if he keeps up with what he's doing right now. But he's got to keep up.
Mhm.
Because Larry Bird did this shit his whole career. Luka doing it in the first couple of years. I mean, you know,
Luka don't be playing defense like that though. Like,
yeah.
but that's today's game. That's today's game. Luka's a leak out. You know, he's waiting on that swing pass. He's not really worried about the block and all that. Like,
I feel
again,
like if Luka don't win a championship and if he don't get like better at defense, he's just gonna be like James Harden.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right.
I can see that.
All right, bet. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. We're gonna skip the 2010s because I feel like that's been beaten to a pulp. So Get out your pens and pads, and we're gonna go. This is our last set before we sign off. We're gonna look at the all-decade lineup. Not everybody's gonna pick a play or their own lineup. What we're gonna do, we're gonna just shout out names, and we're gonna discuss and vote for an all-decade lineup for the cast and crew of Ignorant Sports Talk.
Mhm.
Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
So let's start with 80s. Let's start it off there. Point guards of the 80s. Who do you think is the all-decade point guard of the 80s?
Magic.
Oh yeah, Magic. The Magic and Isaiah. You could throw Isaiah in there too, just for debate purposes.
I would put Isaiah in the 90s more so. No, I guess late 80s was where Isaiah really stepped in.
Yeah, but I mean the 80s was his era. He was pretty much on his way out in the 90s. So,
That's fair.
Yeah.
But that's true. I can't rationalize anybody going over Magic.
yeah, because Magic.
Dylan, who you got? Dylan, who you got, bro?
He's on mute. I don't know why.
You're on mute, kid.
Yeah, I got Magic. Nothing.
Magic. All right, that's pretty much unanimous right there. Shooting guards of the 80s. Who we got?
You got a couple, man. You could look at Julius Erving. You can look at Joe Dumars. I mean, like this.
Julius Erving was a small forward, wasn't he?
I think he played the 2 and the 3. He played both.
Let's see.
I think we just stick to the dominant positions to avoid like.
I would lock him in at number 3. Like he played small forward very effective.
Okay, you can do that.
So I'd still say Jordan because he was averaging like 35.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
100%.
Young Jordan handled it. And
he
my
was in the league from what 84? Like he
Yeah.
dominated.
You can consider him 80s too, because he came in 84. So yeah, that works. Jordan definitely works.
because I mean the other option, like you said, is Dumars, and unfortunately, I just don't think I'm not sold on that.
I mean, he was good in his own right, but he wasn't Jordan, you know.
But he wasn't Michael, exactly. Okay.
That was Jordan.
Pecky, you got anybody else for 2, or are you sticking with Jordan?
No, I would say Jordan because Dr. J was a small forward. So
Okay.
Okay,
So-
cool. You go.
J for me is my 3 pick. Anybody else got anything for 3?
What about James Worthy?
I had thought of that.
Big game James.
Yeah, Dr. J was kind of on his way out in the 80s too. So I mean, James would probably be the more valid pick.
I'll be the white guy and say Larry Bird.
I mean, you got Larry Bird, of course. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would prefer Larry Bird, but I want to put Larry Bird as a power forward because he played kind of a big role.
you got Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a 3.
Yeah, I thought he was.
If we're gonna hold him, if we're holding Larry Bird at 3, then Larry Bird is my pick.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Then if that's the case, I thought he was a 4. So definitely Larry.
I was holding him at 4. Okay. With that being said, then who's number 4 in the 80s? Like who's the power forward?
McHale.
Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Who are some other reputable power forwards in the 80s?
Would you consider Hakeem to be a power forward?
He played
He's more so a 5, but I mean, he could play the 4 too.
Like Dominique was a small forward too, right? I know he was more 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominique was small.
Okay.
I mean, Kevin McHale was considered the best power forward of all time for a long time. You know what I mean? Before the Tim Duncans and the Kevin Garnetts, and he was the guy that they considered the best power forward of all time.
What about Barkley?
Sir Charles. Now he ain't. I don't think he affected the game like McHale did, especially on the team that McHale played on.
Yeah.
Barkley was mainly in the 90s too.
Yeah,
He was early 90s, and even as much as I love Charles, I wouldn't put him in the all-decade lineup. He'd be a great backup for the all-decade lineup.
Like second team all decade.
Yeah. Second team, love it. But all right, who's our 5?
You guys go centers. I think everybody. Kareem is inevitable.
It's Kareem or Hakeem.
I got Kareem over Hakeem.
I got Kareem over Hakeem.
Yeah.
It's Kareem, yeah.
All right, bet. Okay, so our all 80s lineup, we're looking at Magic, Jordan, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Kareem.
Solid.
Sounds right.
So, lineup. Okay, let's look at the 90s. 90s point guard.
My point guard, I mean, personally, I'm going John Stockton. As you nigga.
Going who?
John Stockton.
Stockton?
That's good.
Damon Stoudemire.
Interesting. I'm going Gary.
Hold on, are you joking or you mean that?
Nah, I'm joking.
Okay, bet. That's what I thought. Because I'm like, there's no way you're actually as an all-decade. Get out of here with that. 90s point guard.
I think it's got to be Stockton.
Yeah, it's got to be him. I just want to play devil's
What about
advocate.
hold on. What about Gary Payton?
That's what I said. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Gary Payton has said multiple times that John Stockton was his worst matchup.
Yeah, he did. He is on record saying that. I mean, yeah, it's got to go to Stockton, honestly. But I just wanted to give Gary Payton an honorable mention, you know. But
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how you can knock off Stockton for that era, for that run he had with Malone.
Yeah, it's got to be John Stockton.
Stockton, GP as his backup. Okay, who's our Jordan's got to be the shooting guard.
Yeah, you don't even need to discuss that.
Unless you want to look at Warren's favorite basketball player of all time, Clyde Drexler.
That's hilarious. I hate that.
Wow. That's
all right, who's our small forward of the 90s?
Scottie
Pippen.
My fault.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen.
All right.
He was the best 3 by far. It wasn't even close.
And who's our number 4?
Carl or Barkley, I guess, right?
It's got to be Barkley.
Got to be Karl Malone, man.
Wait. Whoa. Yeah. What am I talking about? It's the mailman.
Yeah, man.
That guy was so big, man. Yo, did you guys know before this documentary, and I guess maybe I'm the only one that didn't know, that Karl Malone sounds like I don't know, like some country white dude?
Oh yeah, his voice always got on my nerves.
He's very country.
I never knew that. I was listening to a podcast the other day. I don't know how I missed that, I guess, somehow in life. I thought I knew what he was talking about. But straight up, I was listening to a podcast, and they started talking, and the guy's like, hey, do you know blah, blah, blah? And I was like, wait, who is that? That's not Karl Malone. Like, what the fuck?
Because he doesn't do a lot of interviews. He's very secluded, right? So.
Yeah.
What?
Bro, I remember watching the 98 finals with my dad, and that's like one of the main things I remember. His annoying ass fucking voice, bro. Like, it's terrible, bro.
Because where's he from originally, Karl Malone?
He's from the South for sure.
Yeah, somewhere down here. Shit.
He's Louisiana.
Yeah.
Or he was born in Louisiana.
It don't get any. It almost doesn't get any more stuff than that.
Yeah, exactly. And he sounds like just like a country farmer, and I was like shocked that he has like a hard accent. But,
super. Yeah.
That's unfortunate, bro. It sound like the first slave to breed. Anyhow, who's our all-decade center in the 90s?
The Dream.
I think it's got to be Hakeem. It's got to
Hakeem.
be
Patrick Ewing.
Shut it down, bro.
Listen, man.
No. Sean Bradley.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, I was surprised nobody said Charles Oakley for the Power, but that's cool.
Oh no. Oh God.
No. 2000s all-decade point guard.
Oh boy.
AI.
AI was a shooting guard.
Fuck.
Eric Snow was out point guard.
Are we going? I mean, Steve Nash, maybe?
Stevie. Or Chris Paul. Chris Paul, probably.
Nah.
I'm trying to think, man.
Chris Paul got drafted in like 2008, didn't he?
2006.
Tony Parker, what's up?
Shut up.
Wait, Chris Paul was when did he get drafted?
Chris Paul was 2005.
Okay. I mean, Steve Nash got 2 MVPs. I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
Let's not open up that cage again.
Even though he didn't deserve one of them. Shits,
There it
but
is.
It's okay.
My bad. I got confused with the Chris Paul. I forgot he wasn't part of that 2003 class.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, it's gotta be Nash.
Then. It's gotta be good old Canadian Steve Nash.
Yeah, it's Nash.
So y'all just gonna skip over my boy Jameer Nelson, huh? All right.
Wow.
I mean, Jason Kidd would be up there also, eh? I would imagine.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh shit! You just made this interesting as hell. You just made this interesting as fuck.
Jason Kidd
Fuck
or
Steve
Steve
Nash.
Nash.
Fuck
Damn.
Steve Nash.
Wow, that's
J.
unnecessary.
Kidd.
That was very aggressive, sir.
That was wildly aggressive. I understand you don't. That's but sir.
No,
Are we really
I'm
going-
sorry because
are we
as
really
nice
going
as
Jason
Steve
Kidd over
Nash
Steve Nash?
is, as
I would
nice
go
as
J-
Nash is, bro. Jason Kidd, bro. Like I don't know. I wouldn't put Nash over Jason Kidd. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. Honestly, I was trying to remember some of the more reputable point guards in the early.
Stephon Marbury.
Don't do that. Don't.
Yes.
The best thing about that guy was his $15 sneakers that nobody wore. That was the best thing.
Hey
about
man, I wore them shits for grade 9 and grade 10 basketball. Don't do that. we used to go to Rick and Barry's in Buffalo. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
I come back with like here's the kicks. I get them out to all the homies. Local had 2. I had 2. He was killing it, boy. Them Starburys was jumping.
I hated that guy. But
All right, so J Kidd, who's our 2000 shooting guard? We're gonna have to go Kobe. No ifs and buts about it. I think the second team is harder for the shooting guards in the 2000s than the first team because first team is undoubtedly Kobe Bryant, but then second team you got Allen, you got Tracy, you got Vince. You know, like there's so many shooting guards after Kobe Bryant. You got to decide that. Like, who would be Kobe Bryant's backup on an all-decade shooting guard?
Allen Iverson, in my opinion.
it'd be between AI and T-Mac.
I'd say Iverson.
I picked
gotta be
AI,
Aye.
but okay, bet. Cool. Number 3, who we got?
We really can't
Circle.
just make a team. Like, do we have to follow these rules so strictly? We can't have AI and Kobe as the backcourt.
No,
Fuck.
We got Hito Turkoglu out here.
Oh no!
Fuck.
what you say?
Rafael Arujo.
How dare you say that name?
Nah, yo.
What are we
Jorge-
looking at?
Jorge-
Shooting guards? I mean, no, small forwards, huh?
Small forward,
Yeah.
Jorge.
LeBron. Like, why is this even? Come on, man.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's LeBron.
The 03 class, right? So he fits.
Yeah, he was there for 7 years. Shit.
Yep.
Not winning shit, but he was there.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
but that's cool.
that's unnecessary.
Oh, wow.
Jordan ain't win shit in the 80s, and we put him there, didn't we?
That's fair.
That's a very true point.
John Stockton didn't win anything ever, and we put him in that. So neither did Rick.
Steve Nash didn't win.
Stop being a hater. Who's our all-decade power forward?
This is
I would say Duncan.
I would go with Timothy.
It's between Tim and KG.
Yeah, it's Timmy.
It's Tim. I ain't giving that to KG.
Tim wins because of that story KG told about Tim Duncan smack talk.
Yeah.
Ooh, got you.
Gotcha. Got it.
Oh man. Yeah, it's got to be Timmy D.
First all center, got to be Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not up for debate.
The center in the 2000s. That was maybe for the benefit of friendship, I would say Ben Wallace could back him up, but Big Ben was also trash. Sorry, Jack.
Don't give Jack a reason to talk shit. No.
Yeah, what?
Don't do that.
It's Big
Fuck.
Ben.
Big Ben.
Yo,
Big-
it's Big Ben followed closely by Darko Milicic.
Oh, wow.
No, man.
Followed closely. No.
NBA
Come on.
champion Darko Milicic.
Come on, are we talking about?
Hey, what about Big Z? My guy,
Uh-huh.
Big Z.
Yo,
Zadrunas
Kwame
Ilgauskas.
Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're
No, what are you talking about? Big Ben won two defensive players of the year. Like he what? I think he led in blocks or rebounding. He was like all
He
defensive.
actually has 4 defensive players
entire
of the year.
time.
It's
He won the
fucking
championship.
incredible. Yeah. He has, he's that guy. Yeah. I mean,
but no, it's
Shaq.
Have we? Yeah, we got. It's Shaq, right?
Yeah, it's definitely Shaq.
Yeah. Sticking with Shaq, I think Big Ben is a great second team all decade center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, Shaq got all 4 of his championships in the 2000s, so it's like you can't really choose anyone. Yeah.
Now here comes the kicker. So I'm gonna reread the lineups, right? The 80s lineup, we got Magic, Jordan, Bird, McHale, and Kareem. 90s lineup, we got Stockton, Jordan, Pippen, Malone, and Hakeem. And the 2000s lineup, we got Kidd, Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. Which of those lineups is the best lineup?
Oh, here we go.
Oh God.
To me, the 90s lineup is just get the motherfuckers out of here. It's got to be between the 80s and the 2000s.
Now, why do you scratch the 90s lineup automatically?
Because John Stockton ain't doing shit with Jason Kidd, and he ain't doing shit with Magic Johnson. Jordan was just as good in the 80s as he was in the 90s. He just didn't have the help that he had in the 90s. Who was the small forward? Larry Bird versus who was the 90s? Scotty. Yeah. Larry Legend. Definitely Larry Legend. The power forward, who's the power forward again?
Karl Malone.
Versus
McHale.
Kevin McHale.
Malone might have the edge there, but no. Kareem versus who? Hakeem? No, Kareem is gonna bust his fucking ass. Yeah,
that would be a very fun matchup to see, though.
It would, but the skyhook will reign supreme. So,
well, you gotta remember that is the older Kareem as well, not the 70s Kareem.
I mean, he did win. How many championships did the guy get in the 80s? 3, 4?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so let's scratch the 90s lineup. Now let's look at the 80s versus the 2000s. What's the better lineup here? We got Magic, Jordan, Bird, McHale, and Kareem versus Kidd, Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan, and Shaq.
This is hard.
Let's go position by position and see if we can do
very hard one.
Plus minus.
This is very hard.
Magic, Kidd.
Magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so Magic wins that one. We got Jordan and Kobe. I think that's a stalemate.
Kobe. I think.
Hold on. Remember, this is 80s Jordan and 2000s Kobe, not 90s Jordan. 80s Jordan and 2000s Kobe. And I think it's a stalemate.
I think Kobe wins, bro.
90s Jordan and 2000s Kobe. Jordan is by far better.
Not in my opinion. I don't think any Jordan is better than Kobe, but that's just my opinion.
That's fine, but I'm saying I just think that's a stalemate. Like they cancel each other out. Like young Kobe, young Jordan, same shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's where it gets tricky. Larry Bird versus LeBron James.
A young LeBron James.
Young, athletic.
Jumping through the fucking ceiling, LeBron. That guy. Yeah, he's going to dunk all over Larry Legend.
I could only imagine the smack talk that young LeBron would receive from prime Larry Bird.
But are we playing, help defense into effect here, or are we just doing one-on-one?
No, we playing help defense, everything. I gotta go with LeBron. I'm sorry, guys. I know Larry's the man, but
yeah, I think young LeBron would.
Yeah, I still got LeBron.
If Panky said young LeBron, then LeBron is the one.
All right, so what are we looking at for the fours again?
That's LeBron, assuming Larry Legend doesn't trash talk LeBron so badly he goes back to Akron.
Wow.
Now you got LeBron confused with KD did. That's what KD would do.
Wow, that is quite accurate. Number 4 is we're looking at Kevin McHale and Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Timmy definitely.
And then lastly, we're looking at Kareem versus Shaq.
God damn, this shit just got spicy.
Shaq. It's Shaq. It's easily Shaq. in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going easily Shaq. 2000 Shaq versus 80 Kareem. That's
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Kareem was a better defender than we give him credit for, man. I ain't saying he would have stopped Shaq because ain't nobody stopped him.
him. That's for sure.
There was 4 years. There were 4 years where Shaq was the single most dominant athlete on the planet, and I don't think Kareem had enough beef to keep up with Shaquille O'Neal.
Pause.
So, being said, does that mean that we agree that the 2000s lineup is better than the 80s lineup?
Mm-hmm. Well, the way we just broke it down, I mean, it's pretty conclusive, you know.
It makes sense. So then, for all the old heads out there, this was just a thought experiment. But for all the old heads out there, we just broke it down according to the best of the best, and by position. The conclusion is simple. The 2000s are the best.
Hold on. Yeah, we agreed that. I think just to put an exclamation point on this, real quick. Let's make a 2010s lineup. I know we said we wasn't gonna do it, but let's just do it. Just for exclamation point. Let's do it.
Bet. 2010s point guards. Who you got?
LeBron James.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
2010.
Everybody agree on Steph?
Yeah, that works.
2010 shooting guard. I'm actually gonna go with Dwayne Wade on that one.
No.
2010s D Wade.
Kawhi.
Nah.
I go with 2010 Kobe over 2010 Dwayne Wade.
I'd take Kobe too. But they're both on their way out. So 2010 shooting guard. Kawhi does play the 2, right? It's got to be
Kawhi. Why?
It's got to be Kawhi.
Yeah.
That's not his main position, though. We're gonna put him in.
He can play both, but I mean,
it was his main position.
He's more so a 2.
He's more a 2 than a just long. Yeah. 3 with that 2010.
Actually, I don't know. I kind of agree. Actually, I don't know if maybe we should put him at the 2 or the 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of
He played.
I mean, he plays the 2 right now.
He plays the 2 more often in San.
Yeah, but right. That's right now. Just because Paul George is there.
The only time he played the 3 more consistently was the 1 year he spent in Toronto.
No, because he had
No, because Danny Green was the 3.
Tony Parker, Danny Green,
Danny
Kawhi.
Green was a 2. No, it was
Danny Green
when he was in San Antonio. When he was in San Antonio, it was Tony Parker, then Danny Green, or Manu Ginobili, then Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, and then Tyler Splitt.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought DG played the 3 because Danny Green played the 3 in Toronto too.
So then we got to go James Harden, man.
Yeah, it's James. It's James Harden.
All right.
And then it's Kawhi.
Absolutely fucking not. Then it's LeBron.
He's gonna hit him with a barrage of step back.
You trash that. Kawhi can be LeBron backup. LeBron went to another stratosphere in the 2010s, bro. When he played in Miami, it was different. And when he went back to Cleveland, it was different.
Man, I wish we could. I hope we see this year. I hope we see that matchup. Oh man.
I hope we do too, man. All right,
that would be awesome.
Who's the power forward of the 2010s?
Power forward of the 2010s. Timmy was balling, but
he was on his way.
Antetokounmpo?
Yeah, did you put Giannis at the 4?
But when did Giannis start? How much of the decade do we have here of Giannis dominant and Timmy dominant?
Giannis didn't start dominating until like 2 years ago. I don't think we could put.
Yeah, we don't have to put Giannis, and he's also no. I can't give that to Giannis. I can't.
I was gonna say Dirk, but Dirk was kind of on his way out too. Fuck.
Oh, definitely on his way out. Yeah.
Damn, there's a lot of guys to choose from here.
How was Dirk on his way out in the 2010s?
Dirk won the championship. He won the ship in 2014.
He was like 33 in 2010.
Yeah, he beat the Heatles.
Yeah, he was like 30. How old was he when he won that?
He's like 33, 32.
I'm trying to think. We're forgetting a lot of good power forwards here. You got LaMarcus Aldridge. You got
no.
Damn, that's kind of fucked up. Who else do we got?
No, you got Al Horford. No, you got I say no on Dirk.
Jokic?
He's a 5 though, isn't he?
Nikola Jokic is a center.
Oh fuck. Somebody look that up real quick. Top power forwards of the 2010s.
Okay, we can put Blake Griffin, Chris
Nope.
Bosh,
Nope.
Kevin Love.
Nope. Go by teams. Who was the power forward for the
Amari
Hawks?
Stoudemire.
Hell no.
If he
I'll
stayed
go-
healthy, let's be honest. If he stayed healthy, he would have probably been a guy.
That's a big if.
But he didn't.
What
So.
about Marc Gasol? He played center, right?
Yeah, he's a center. What about Pau Gasol? No, he's on his way out too. Fuck.
Dude, what's Anthony Davis?
Oh shit, AD. Fuck,
Oh,
what are we
yeah.
doing? AD.
Oh yeah, what are we talking about here?
Bro, did we all smoke some shit? God damn.
I did.
They did.
Yeah, that's
and then our
definitely AD.
all-decade center.
Hmm.
Y'all already know I'm gonna say Marky Mark.
Don't.
Well, are we sure we're going to Anthony
Yeah.
Davis or Anthony Bennett?
Oh no.
Bruh.
I'll slap your hair up clean off here. You ain't gonna need a barber in your life, boy.
It was so
Right.
funny watching that draft because it was hilarious because like Anthony Bennett was probably in college basketball that year. He was probably the like 100th best player. And hearing the justifications for taking this guy, so stupid. They're like, yeah, well, he's been terrible, but you know that means he can be good, right? Because he's been terrible. It'll definitely translate. Oh my God, it was brutal. He wasn't ever good. It was a terrible decision. I
For
can't believe
the 2010s, did we put Dwight there?
Dwight
Yo,
Howard.
it's hard to argue.
we don't put Dwight anywhere.
We don't put Dwight on anything except for on a Jerry Springer episode. Sorry.
Man, I wish Andrew Bynum stayed healthy. I would have said Andrew Bynum.
No,
How about DeMarcus Cousins?
it's Boogie.
Boogie, nah, Mark. If we're gonna put Boogie, then we have to put Marc Gasol because Marc Gasol is better than Boogie. So y'all can.
How about we share? How about that one we share?
I don't know, bro. Biggie,
But
I mean, Boogie averaged like 28 and 12 one year, bro. And then he did the same thing the next year. So I don't know. Boogie had a nice little run before he got hurt.
So wait, are we putting Anthony Davis at the 4?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
plays. That's his natural position.
Yeah, but he's still okay. All right, he plays.
But
the 5.
he plays the 4 more.
Yeah, that's
than
his natural position.
He plays the 5 a lot.
I mean, technically, Boogie is probably the best center.
Yeah, Boogie is, man. Like if you talk about because Marc Gasol, I mean he's good, but he doesn't give you what Boogie gives you on offense, man. Boogie can step out. Boogie could dunk on you. Marc
Gasol is a better shooter than Boogie can ever be. So
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do
No,
that.
You don't do that.
Oh.
Don't do that. From 3? No, absolutely not.
Boogie's a better 3-point shooter than Marc Gasol.
Yes, sir.
That's
I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree with it.
no, that's some
That's
blasphemy.
that's crazy.
wait, hold on. I'm gonna say it again.
Why are we speaking about Marc Gasol like he's fucking Steph Curry or somebody?
No, hold on.
No,
I'm
no,
not doing that. DeMarcus Boogie Cousins is a better 3-point shooter than Marc Gasol.
I'd take him over Marc Gasol from outside. Yes.
Wow.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. You're absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe I'm hearing right now.
Bro, Marc Gasol didn't put no fear in my heart from behind the arc, bro. It's just like, okay, if he makes it, okay, great, he made it. Like,
Yeah, but
That's
Boogie
because you
never did the same
watched-
thing
that's because
either.
You never watched him
I'm
play.
about to say Boogie.
did you see Boogie and Anthony Davis playing together in New Orleans when they were both putting up like 40 points in the same game? Like, them motherfuckers were bugging, and Boogie was hitting some crazy shit from outside, bro. I don't know.
Did you know? Hold on. Whatever, man. Did you know that in 2016, Marc Gasol went 67% 3-point?
How many threes did he take?
Let's find out. So he basically took 2 threes a game, shooting 67%. Or sorry, 1 3 a game, 67%.
I mean, that's very
100%.
easy when you're taking 1-3 a game.
And he's a center.
I guess.
Yeah, but
Let's not pretend.
the most 3-pointers Boogie averaged per game was 2.2.
Yeah, like let's not pretend like Biggie was just raining threes, bro.
I never said he was raining threes. I just said I prefer him over Marc Gasol from outside.
That's okay. I'm just looking at the numbers, man. We're looking at the numbers. Okay. Career 3-point percentage for Boogie, 33%.
Better than Westbrook.
Gasol's is 35.6.
A little better.
Gasol was always a better 3-point shooter than Boogie.
And also, Marc Gasol throughout his career has averaged pretty much double the 3-point attempts.
That's cool.
Marc Gasol.
So in their
Actually,
prime,
sorry. Let me. That's a mistake. So, throughout his career, Marc Gasol averaged 0.5 3-point, or he made 0.5 3-pointers a game throughout his career, and attempted like on average 1.3 threes per game for his career. Boogie 0.6 and 1.8. So technically, I guess Boogie has taken more.
Made more too. 0.6 beats 0.5, doesn't it?
Marc Gasol played a long time more than Boogie. He played many, many years before Boogie.
Did he?
Marc Gasol was drafted in like 2004, bro. 2005.
Why you acting like Marc Gasol?
He was shit for like how many years? When did he start playing?
He played on a shit team.
He was drafted by the Lakers.
He was traded for Kwame Brown, bro.
No, he was traded for Powell.
He was traded with Kwame Brown for Pau Gasol.
There you have it. And he ain't see a fucking second. When did he start playing? He was drafted in 2004. When did he start playing?
2008.
Wow, 4 years. When did Boogie start playing? When was Boogie drafted?
Boogie's first year was 2010.
He started playing in 2010, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said,
Marc Gasol is still better.
First of all,
Marc Gasol is still better at shooting threes.
First of all,
That's
Marc
cool.
Gasol got drafted in 2007, not 2004. Okay?
Okay.
Marc Gasol, when he went to Memphis, was their starting center in his second year there.
He started 75 games in 2008, 2009.
So, I don't know who the hell made
Who
y'all
put up
believe
more
that
points?
this was
Who put up more points per game? Let's put their points per game back to back.
No, but we're skewing away from the topic at point. That was the 3-point
Okay, no,
shot.
we ain't going away from the topic because Panky said he averages 0.6 makes and Marc Gasol only averages 0.5 makes. So if we're going based on numbers, DeMarcus Cousins takes and makes more threes. If we're going based on numbers, Panky just proved it.
Yeah, but Gasol is a better percentage.
That's cool.
You can take more threes.
Why are we arguing
and
percentage?
make more threes, but be trash.
I guess. Who averages more points per game though?
Oh, definitely Marcus Cousins.
No, Boogie has more points per game. Fine.
Who averages more rebounds per game?
All I'm saying is DeMarcus Cousins is the better center. Marcus Gasol is a better 3-point shooter.
Okay, but who's our pick though? DeMarcus Cousins, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no other good people.
All right, cool.
Not much to choose from.
You're all wrong.
You're all idiots. You're all idiots. I'm out. I'm done. I'm leaving.
You know how bad the 2010 lineup is compared to all the others.
Yeah, this is when everybody starts shooting threes, and
it's not a bad.
Are we just gonna make a 2020 lineup at this point?
The only bad thing is the center. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the only bad thing, the center.
So James Harden in comparison to Kobe and Jordan.
James Harden did score 36 points last year, didn't he?
Shooting 90.
Average 36 points a game, right?
But is he guarding Kobe or Jordan?
I mean,
Would
yeah, if he's guarding them, but if they're guarding him, what are they gonna do?
Kobe Bryant would keep James Harden from shooting 93s a game. I believe that.
Listen, that
Yeah, there's no way James Harden's shooting or even getting the ball the most out of any of those players in that team.
Bro, let me tell you something. He's not going to be able to defend them, and I agree on that. They're not going to be able to defend him, bro. His step back three.
Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Yeah, but you got to understand, James Harden's not a great dribbler down court, right? He's good when he's trying to spot up to shoot, but they would play him off ball. They would deny him the ball, bro. Like, it's not like James Harden was controlling the ball from the inbound all the way to the three and then pulling. Like, Kobe and Mike would keep the ball out of his hands, and they would smother him.
It's hard to keep the ball out of somebody's hands like James Harden. Let's not forget he's kind of like a point guard. You know what I mean? He's a shooting guard, but he's kind of a point guard, bro. The guy can pass.
Like, you can't say they can't guard James Harden.
Bro, when is his step back three most effective in people's face, right? That's when he makes the highest, like his step back three.
So
it's on guard.
James Harden's game is mainly like focused around him and the offense on the Rockets. On this team that's 2010s, it's not going to be focused on him. It's going to be focused on LeBron and Curry, mainly. Then it's going to be Anthony Davis getting the ball or James Harden. He's going to be the third option at best.
Okay, so if he's the third option, then who are the two best defenders on that team at the wing? You got Kobe is the best defender on the 2000s team, the best wing defender. Jordan is the best wing defender. Well, Scotty's the best wing defender on that team. Okay, so Scotty's gonna have to guard. Scotty's gonna have to guard LeBron. Jordan is gonna have to guard Steph. Who's guarding James Harden?
Wait, we're going with 80s or 90s here. We're going with 90s.
Why are we even looking at that? Look. Magic versus Steph.
Magic's got it.
Magic
Jordan got it.
versus James Harden.
Hold on. Magic versus Steph. Magic has got it.
I think Steph got that.
Steph is gonna smoke his fucking boots.
Magic?
Yes.
He was a very good defender. I don't think he's.
Bro, Magic never seen ball handle like Steph Curry, bro. He's never seen it. He's never played against it. Steph would break his ankles, bro. He would break his ankles. And on top of that,
if he never saw it, then we never saw him get broken by it. So we don't know if he would get broken by it.
Bro, like the best ball handler in the 80s was Isaiah Thomas, hands down, bro. Like Magic lost to him. He lost to him. So what do you think Steph would have did to him?
So you think Steph is guarding Magic Johnson? He's 6'9". Steph's like 6'3".
Bro, Magic is not an offensive threat like Steph is, bro.
It's true.
He's not.
It's true. And Magic's biggest threat on offense wasn't really his scoring ability. It was his ability to facilitate anyway. And if we're looking at the way the game is played, the team defense will kind of shut that shit down. So I got to go Steph. Jordan versus Harden, I'm taking Jordan.
Oh, well, that's inevitable. Jordan, of course.
Bird, LeBron, I'm still taking LeBron. Kevin McHale.
Who versus LeBron?
Larry Bird.
Oh, yeah, LeBron again, of course.
Kevin McHale against Anthony Davis, I'm taking Davis. And Kareem at Boogie, I'm taking Kareem. But the 2010s team still goes three dubs over 2.
Yeah, so they definitely still beat the 80s.
So, are we going with 2000s then? So Jason Kidd versus Steph Curry?
Versus Kidd, Steph takes that.
Yeah.
Harden versus Kawhi, or versus Kobe, sorry.
Kobe's
taking
that.
Mm-hmm.
LBJ in the 2010s versus LBJ in the 2000s. 2010 LBJ is better, so that.
Correct.
Anthony Davis versus Tim Duncan. I'm gonna leave that one up to the family because I'm not quite sure.
Fuck.
I'm going Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Timmy, but it's not an easy decision.
The fundamental is beating the athleticism. That's what I'm going with.
I think so. With Tim Duncan, I think he's gonna have technical.
You know what? I would probably go Timmy only because Anthony Davis is more like a Kevin Garnett. So yeah, I'll probably go Timmy. I'll go Timmy.
And then Boogie and Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah, that's inevitable. Yeah.
That would be ugly.
Even still, the 2000s team comes out on top. You got Steph is better than Kidd, of course, and 2010 LBJ is better, but Kobe, Duncan, and Shaq
Wait, we
out-
forgot to do the 2000s against the 90s.
We don't have to. 90s
No, the
already-
2010s against the 90s.
They already lost. They trash.
No, I don't know about it. I got him 3-2 up with a 90 winning.
Steph and Stockton, who you got?
Steph,
Okay, so Steph Curry,
Jordan and Harden, who you got?
Jordan,
Bet. Pippen and LeBron, who you got?
LeBron.
bro.
Davis and Malone, who you got?
I got Karl Malone.
I got
I got Anthony Davis.
all the damn day long.
I got Anthony Davis. I'm sorry.
And
Yeah, okay. We got Karl Malone. Okay. So Anthony Davis is the better defender.
Way
yes,
better defender.
and the better
Malone,
jump.
Malone. Okay, he's a better 3-point shooter. Karl Malone's a better mid-range shooter. He is.
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that.
you cannot forget about Karl Malone.
He just took more mid-range shots. Anthony Davis from mid-range is lights out, bro. I'm not
on
gonna
the post fadeaway. Yeah, but like
I mean, in
Karl
the era
Malone-
of
Karl Malone
mid-range.
also had that.
I think
And plus, he's second in leading in scoring all time. I mean, he was
Yeah.
averaging like 30 for his
Yeah.
whole career.
yeah, I think Anthony Davis just edges him out just based on his length, his athleticism, and his defense.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
don't
so,
get me
yeah.
wrong. Karl Malone was great, but I got to go with Anthony Davis here.
And plus, Karl Malone, he's tougher. He's stronger than Anthony Davis is.
Nah, we don't know that. We don't know that.
We do know that, but
We
what
do
we
know that.
don't know is Karl Malone's ability to keep up with Anthony. Anthony Davis, remember, he used to be a point guard. That nigga is smooth.
Yeah,
Karl
his
Malone-
first step is ridiculous.
He's never had to guard someone like Anthony Davis before. With a
And
point
plus,
guard and a
plus, like in the team, he does have John Stockton with him, so that is his he can do pick and roll with that.
okay.
Okay,
And
AD and LeBron? Come on, man.
Correct.
Come on, man.
Nah, I got to go with Anthony Davis on this one. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Who you got?
have the-
Who you got?
I think I give this slight lead to Anthony Davis.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Jack, who you got? Oh, he's not even there.
Jack stepped up. And then, of course, Hakeem is going to take Boogie to school. So I see Steph, LeBron, and Davis beating out Stockton, Pippen, and Malone. Jordan and Hakeem beat Harden and Boogie. So the 2010s team beats the 90s team. That's
Yeah,
easy.
so the champion is the 2000s, pretty much.
2000s. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm still on a stalemate with the 2000s. I think that one kind of evens out because I actually want to go stalemate between Duncan and Davis. Like I think what Tim Duncan brings in terms of fundamentals, Anthony Davis makes up for in terms of athleticism. What Tim Duncan brings in terms of power forward discipline, Anthony Davis makes up for in terms of transitional basketball. In terms of he plays power forward with point guard skills.
Here's the biggest question there. Here's the biggest question. I think this is going to be the deciding factor. Who's the better defender? And it's hard because Timmy was an amazing defender, but so
I
is
got Tim Duncan.
Davis.
He got that defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. It's hard. Like,
I mean,
that's
when
why.
when you talk about defense, you're talking about fundamentals, right? You're talking about fundamentals and discipline are the two main tenets of being a good defender, and that's what it's all about. It's about being a fundamental player and being disciplined. So
I just don't. I think there's few people that beat Tim Duncan's basketball IQ.
Yeah. That goes without being said.
But that's why I say, like, what Tim Duncan has in terms of, like, his ability to be disciplined and just know the game, Anthony Davis makes up for it in terms of, like, his kinesthesis and his proprioception. Like, his movement is so fluid. He played point guard, and he's in a 7-foot body with a 7'6" wingspan, and he's got a good jumper. Like, he moves he would give Tim Duncan a hard time just like Kevin Garnett gave Tim Duncan a hard time.
Yeah. That's why I compared him to Garnett because their games are very similar. Yeah.
Garnett couldn't shoot from range, but Anthony Davis can, which means Tim Duncan was better than Kevin Garnett, even though Garnett gave him a hard time. But Anthony Davis has something Garnett did not have, which is the range shooting, which is why I put them kind of even keel. They stalemate for me.
Anthony Davis is also the best shot blocker out of all three of them. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean, like the saying goes, you can be a shot blocker, but you can also not be as good in defensive fundamentals.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
good. But again, that's why like for every
Okay, so I think even if you do cancel out their defensive like side of the ball, I still think that Tim Duncan is better offensively, just because like his post game and it's 2000 Tim Duncan, so he's like at prime.
But Anthony Davis range, man, like I can't, and he's more athletic. I have to give even keel. I have to. For me,
Timmy definitely has the better post game, definitely. But I think
he got better finishing. He got the better free throw percentage. Probably. No,
I don't know about better finishing. I don't know about that. Like
Timmy
is more. He's more finesse. I mean, he could. Don't get me wrong. He could finish, but Anthony Davis is a fucking freak, bro. I don't know about better finishing.
And AD has a better first step, first dribble. Like he's just quicker off the ball.
Yeah, Timmy is better IQ wise and fundamentally he's better. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis is just a better athlete, if you ask me.
I guess it's about who would you rather have on your team.
Yeah, it's kind of, it comes down to
depending on the teammates. Depending on the teammates, like I would love Anthony Davis and Boogie together. I wouldn't love Shaq and Tim Duncan on the block together. Shaq is dominant on the block. I know Tim Duncan is good with that kind of thing because he played with David Robinson, but
the thing about the Admiral could step out and hit shots too, right? So with Shaq on the block, you're kind of limiting Tim Duncan's game because Shaq can't really step out. He kind of has to – he does most of his damage in the paint, so you're pretty much limiting Tim Duncan to what Kevin Love was on the Cavs. You know what I mean? You just step out and hit that little elbow jumper. You know what I mean? Like you're taking away from his post game because both of them can't be down there at the same time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if Shaq and Timmy D work well together.
Yeah, the way I look at it, man, the 2010s and the 2000s kind of stalemate for me, especially considering that the focal points of both of those teams is LeBron James. And, on one side you have Steph Curry just dominating the point in the 2010s. And on the other side you have Shaquille O'Neal dominating the center in the 2000s. So either way, there's a swingman on the opposite ends, and then you have LeBron in the middle kind of.
I would love to see that series. Oh my God, that would be.
I think on the 2000 team, Kobe would be the focal point, just because he's playing against James Harden.
You know what? I can't argue with that. I can't argue against that.
Kobe would be yelling for him to get the ball.
LeBron would be more like Magic on that team.
I'm okay with that. So look, man, it's been 2 hours and 27 minutes, fellas. We've done quite a bit. But the moral of this story, gentlemen, is that the 2000 teams and the 2010 teams, we believe and we accept that they would be able to compete in the 80s and the 90s. Those guys are fundamentally sound. They're skilled. And for anyone from the 80s and 90s to say that they're just not tough enough, that's just silly shit. Maybe as a whole, the league is not as tough as it used to be, but that's only because they don't rely on physical prowess to win, because now they are more skilled. That's the only separation. It's not that they can't be tough; they just don't have to be as physically dominant because they can be more artful in their play.
Yeah, so y'all stop disrespecting this era, please. Like, we respect the 80s, we respect the 90s, we respect the 2000s. You know what I mean? So just respect the era, respect the 2010s. Come on, man. There's so many great players today. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve the disrespect. They really don't.
And Warren says that we respect. I say I disrespect everybody equally. I think so. If you're gonna disrespect us, then disrespect them too. But don't pick and choose. Like, I disrespect everybody. I think Clyde was a bitch. I think Kawhi is a bitch.
Oh, here we go.
Let's not mix it up here and say, oh, one was worse. It's all the same. All right, man. Look, it's been real. You know, this was a good chat. Next week we're gonna tune in. We can talk a little bit more NFL because we spent a lot of time talking basketball today. Once again, shout out to the Bleacher Report for putting up the Game of Zones. That was really special. Anyone who hasn't seen it, please go get a chance. Go on YouTube. It's out there, Game of Zones. all the way from season 1 all the way to the end, it will change your life, and it will give you a greater appreciation for NBA basketball. If you don't have a chance to do so, then your life sucks. Other than that, deuces, gentlemen, keep it real. Figgy, change that RJ Barrett for the next show.
That's a fact.
All right, I'm coming back with Amari with the broken hand next time.
There it is.
Oh my God, I hate your life,
Man, at least get some Steve Novak on the background, bro.
You know what? You know what? I just might do that.
Matter of fact, get me Landry Fields, my guy.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, I'm about to mute all y'all motherfuckers.
No, actually, we need a bit of Kurt Thomas. That's what we need.
Kurt, listen, bye. Goodbye.
Pablo Prigioni, bro.
Be easy.
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers, man. Take it easy.